Welcome back to the premiere of Una Vida Nueva. We are here at Su Teatro in Denver. Kyle Clark with 9 News, joined by my colleague, race and culture reporter Angeline McCall, and our panel for a broader discussion of what we saw in the documentary and the challenges ahead for Denver. Joining us this evening, our Denver Mayor Mike Johnson, thank you for being here. State Senator Julie Gonzalez, longtime immigration advocate, thank you for being here as well. Yoli Casas, who is the head of Vive Wellness, a nonprofit that has been intimately involved in the journey of migrants into our community for the last year, and also Jordan Carrasquillas, who came here from Venezuela a couple of months ago. Welcome. Bienvenidos.
And Jordan, ¿por qué tomó la decisión de venir a Denver? Y descríbame su experiencia también.
Ok. Buenas noches. He pasado por muchos estados y la verdad Denver, Colorado me ha brindado oportunidades que no me han brindado en otros estados. He conocido personas muy amables, personas que deciden en realidad enfocarse en ayudar a personas emigrantes y personas que son emigrantes y están en la calle.
Hello, good evening. I've been passing for many states, but the state of Colorado offered me so many good things that I haven't had in other states. I've been finding also many nice people who has been giving me opportunities.
And Yoli, we want to turn our attention to you because you've been doing so much of the work with migrants. Today on 9 News, you mentioned that you've really hit a point where you're asking Denver to close. What brought you to that point?
You know what brought me is and the word close might not be the best way, it might be to take a second so we can actually focus in the families and the people that right now are at the shelter. And so I've never seen so many people come and so many people in the last year that are going to come out February 5th. So February 5th for me, it's a date that hurts a lot because it's a date that we have to, for various reasons, we're full. There's just no more space. It's when we start discharging the families who have been in for about 2 months. And therefore, every day until March 28th, there'll be at least 100 people being discharged. And so for me, it's let's us work here, and because it's going to be a circle. And the last thing we want to see in Denver are families and children in the street. So that's where I was coming from.
And how many families by February 5th?
So it's a day. So between February 5th and March 28th, and I counted it, there are 743 families, a total of 3,427 people.
Mayor Johnson, I know that the city is struggling to figure out how to use limited shelter resources. And when the cold hit, you stopped displacing families from shelters. So we saw those pictures of families with young kids living in tents. Why is discharging families from the shelters coming up here on February 5th the right thing to do?
Yeah, we have had since the beginning a length of stay policy, which was folks stayed earlier, it was shorter. We extended it to 14 days for individuals, now 37 days for families. When we hit the cold stretches in November and December, we didn't want to discharge folks onto the street, so we paused that. What's happened now is the incoming volume has continued to increase, and those folks that have stayed in shelter means we are now at almost 5,000 individuals in shelter. That means we filled every single hotel room we have available in the city and county of Denver. And the challenge is even the rate that Yoli described of our exiting, we will have folks entering at the very same rate. So actually that will still leave us with roughly 4,000 or 5,000 people in shelter every night in the city, even at exiting that pace. But now we have the terrible decision of if we don't start exiting folks, we will have the problem that the 250 folks that arrive the next day or the day after will also have no place to go on night one. And so excited to talk more about, I think, the tremendous successes we've found in terms of how we can successfully help folks navigate. What I think is so important about the powerful stories on this documentary is this is not random. We know exactly what leads people to succeed and folks not to succeed. It's if they come with a path to work authorization, they come with federal resources, and we come with a plan for how to coordinate their entry across cities, people can absolutely succeed. In the absence of all three of those things, it is very, very difficult to succeed, and that's what I think Yoli is describing. You think about, I saw all the tears in the audience, you think about what it's like to carry one of those families' stories at any given moment. Yoli carries 5,000 of those right now. I carry 5,000 of those. Council President Pro Tem Sandoval carries 5,000 of those every day. And every time, in that video, it took for you to get 11 people housed in one day. And then we have 4,989 still waiting after those 11. And so that is the challenge. It's now affecting the very services we're trying to provide to the newcomers who are here to meet the volume that continues to come.
You switch seats with the mayor, you switch titles with the mayor. Do you do something differently on February 5th, or is he making the best of a bad situation?
I believe he's making the best of the best situation. What I would say I would do separately is planning strategically if 5 families are housed, right? So we have to actually look at each family. It's like we don't want to have people in the street. So out of the people who are leaving the February 5th and 6th, 22 are not going anywhere. They don't have enough jobs, so we can't get them housed. We don't know what to do. So what I would like to do is, what can I do with those families? Can we do? Because we have a lot of help, a lot of nonprofits that are don't want to go anywhere. They don't have housing yet because they can't afford it. What do we do with those 22 families to give them a little bit more time and not be in the street? And that's where I'm helping. So it's doing the best we can do. Denver has done an amazing. I'm so proud to be living here. So how do we come up? There are solutions. There are solutions. So how do we do that? Because there are 22 families. The rest, they're traveling. The rest are getting housed. The rest are working. But we have 22 out of the 55 that come 5th or 6th. Where are we going to do with them? And they can't. We're not going to put them in camp. We don't want any children on the street. So that's where we're stuck. It's like, how do we take care of it? Do we have a place to put them? Do we have encampments? Do we have a church they can go at night, and in the morning they have to leave? They can go to school and go to work. I mean, what can we do? And then we continue to work with those families and say, okay, now they'll get housing maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, those 22 people. But every day there's going to be, imagine, maybe there might be every day 22 people that cannot achieve it. And it will keep adding until March 28th.
And folks continue to come. Mayor Johnson, could Denver slow or stop the flow of migrants into our community if we wanted to, and do we want to?
I mean, I think what's so frustrating about this is a very solvable problem, and this is why we're pushing for federal action that could very easily address this, could provide expedited work authorization, could give cities resources to manage it, could create a coordinated plan for entry. So we believe there is hope on that. We're going to keep pushing. In the absence of that, if we have no dollars at all from the federal government, if we have no work authorization, and we have no plan for coordinated entry, I think the city's going to have to look at all of the above options, including saying that we just won't have any more space unless Aurora and Douglas County and Adams County wants to start opening shelters in their counties. We will need more space. And so I think we will have to look seriously at limiting that inflow. And I just saw Dr. Moreira here tonight. What was so tragic about this story is you saw the folks that were chasing the American dream, and you want them to reach it. And they talked about education as a key one. I've talked to families who shared this, about how bad the education system is, and how they got to America and it was wonderful. Well, imagine if Dr. Moreira said, you know what, we have 3,000 students who arrived in DPS, and we're going to send all 3,000 of those students to Ashley Elementary, all 3,000. Right. What would the quality of the education then look like at Ashley Elementary if you did that? The very thing they came to achieve here, you'd have classes of 170 kids, you wouldn't have supervision, it wouldn't be safe. No one would say that's a situation that now should make you proud about Denver or being in America. The challenge is that's the situation we create in Denver if you have 40,000 folks arrive in Denver and none in Kansas City or St. Louis or Pittsburgh or Detroit. No city can manage that successfully and deliver the dream we want folks to have. And that's what I think is at risk. It's not just the city's financial crisis, but the humanitarian crisis of folks who came looking for something we now can't deliver.
So now we talk about who else could be involved in taking some of the pressure off of Denver. State Senator Julie Gonzalez.
For instance.
I was shocked in Governor Polis's State of the State address when he talked about problems and challenges in every corner of this state and never said the word migrant. Never so much as acknowledged the fact that the challenge existed. What did you make of that?
I was stunned and disappointed because I have long seen Governor Polis as an ally on these issues, and to not acknowledge this very real humanitarian crisis that not only Denver, but communities across our state are grappling with and trying to navigate, trying to live our values. What a missed opportunity. We have so much work to do, and y'all, we have to do it together. And I think that trying to say, well, that's a city issue, so good luck with that. This is a state issue. Oh, I wish we could, but it's a federal issue. No, this is where we all have to come together as people and address these needs. I wish that Congress could do its job. We're in a place right now where I'm not sure Congress can agree on what day of the week it is. And that's been the case for far too long. And how proud I am of the ways in which Denver, but more importantly, individual people in Denver are showing up and living the values that we all hold so dear. That is who we are as Denverites, as Coloradans, as Americans. And I wish that our politicians, more of our elected officials, would reflect those values in their addresses, in their comments, in the work that we do.
What is the role for the state government? The governor, by way of explanation, when I asked him why he could not say the word migrant in his State of the State, said, I want to keep the pressure where it belongs on the federal government. Plenty of pressure on the federal government. I mean, you've gone there countless times to talk to folks in the Biden administration. Is there a role for the state? What is the role for the state?
I think part of what we are trying to navigate right now within the state legislature, being the part-time legislature that we are, where we are in session from January through May, how do we make every single day count? And how do we use the opportunity that we have to convene and to not only identify the problems, but to collaborate and work towards solutions? Some of the pieces that we have within the legislature, and shout out to the Latino Caucus, shout out to many of my colleagues across the state who have been working similarly to the ways that we have been working here in Denver to figure out how do we best navigate solutions in, say, Carbondale, in, say, Aurora, in, say, Adams County. And what more can and should we be doing? That is one conversation that we are utilizing to convene and collaborate. The other point that we are beginning to work through as we both look towards policy and budget is how do we live our values as well in terms of advancing policies that ease this transition and also support directly the organizations and the municipalities and jurisdictions who are doing the critical work of connecting people to the resources that they so desperately need. That is an ongoing conversation, and it will not be without controversy. And one of the things that I will ask of the people who are watching this and who are here in the audience tonight is to take the time to reach out to people who you may think don't know about the issue or don't care about the issue. Take the opportunity to reach out and just ask a question and engage in a dialogue, because that is part of the problem that I think that we are having to confront right now, where people think, Denver, y'all are doing a great job, good luck with that. And that is not, y'all are, and yet there is so much more work for us to do. Yeah. And no one organization, no one municipality, no one state can do it all. We all have to work together.
Our conversation continues after this.
My husband and I finally agreed that we need a new bathtub and shower. So he went right to work on handling the project. That's him going online researching bathtub and shower installers. And there he is, calling a few places to get an estimate. I think he's procrastinating.
Call 1-800-HANSONS for a new shower or bathtub you'll love. Installed in as little as 1 day.
It's okay. I called 1-800-HANSONS.
We custom fit your new bathtub or shower into your existing space for a fast, convenient, and hassle-free installation with any safety features your family needs. safety bars, seats, and more with a no-leak guarantee.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna call 1-800-HANSENS.
That's great, hon.
Get 65% off installation or no interest, no payments for 2 full years. Offer ends soon.
Call 1-800-HANSENS. Get it done.
Are you or a loved one between the ages of 50 to 80 years old? If you are younger than 80 years old, do you receive Social Security, disability, or Medicare? If you answered yes, you may qualify for $30,000 in funeral insurance for only pennies a day. The average funeral costs around $11,000, and Social Security only pays $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. Call now to see if you qualify for $30,000 in funeral expense coverage from Senior Legacy Life. Your rate will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and there is no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing disease or illness. Don't be a financial burden to your family. Lock in your rate by completing an application over the phone right now. Will you qualify for funeral insurance up to $30,000 for only pennies a day? Find out for free by calling Senior Legacy Life.
Call 1-800-600-1109. That's 1-800-600-1109. 1-800-600-1109.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 30 best lawyers in America, 22 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Out here, you're either lunch or you're enjoying it. The all-powerful Kia SUVs assembled in Georgia. Get 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on select new 2023 Sorrento models.
Welcome back to the premiere of Una Vida Nueva. I'm Kyle Clark from 9 News. I want to give you the opportunity to join us in supporting the Newcomers Fund. This is a specially built fund by the Rose Community Foundation, longtime nonprofit in our community, as a way to directly get community support to the small nonprofits doing the work on the ground to support migrants in our community. You see the information there on your screen. Text the word HELP to 303-871-1491. Text HELP to 303-871-1491 to join us in supporting the Newcomers Fund, the most tangible and direct way to get help to those in need in our community. Angeline.
And one of those organizations receiving that money, doing the work on the ground, Yoli, what would you consider as the greatest need right now today for migrants?
Well, in addition to a permit to work, so it would be funding so we can actually support them for housing. Right now, so one of the things of the Newcomers Fund, it's been wonderful, is that it doesn't come with any red tape. Immediately we get it right away. We can start using it right away for what they believe that, we decide what's best. But right now it's been housing, helping them with the first month rent, helping them with, the deposit, even helping those that already been housed. They lost their job and they need help for their second month or third month. So it's been amazing. It's really helped tremendously.
Y Jordan, ¿qué es algo que usted necesita más en este momento? What do you need most in this moment?
En estos momentos estoy necesitando por lo menos un lugar donde vivir 1 mes, 2 meses, porque gracias a personas buenas como usted logré conseguir un trabajo.
So what I need right now is at least a place where to live, at least for 1 or 2 months, because for good people like you guys, I have a job now.
Y pues en el trabajo pues no me va mal, me va bien y me gusta trabajar, y yo sé que por lo menos con 1 mes, 2 meses que yo logre tener algo de ayuda para vivir con mi familia, yo puedo solucionar ya después más adelante.
Mayor Johnson, we will sometimes hear from folks in the community who don't think that Denver or Colorado should be a welcoming place for migrants. you'll hear some version of, and I'm going to summarize this, they won't like the summary, but I think it's accurate, that if we were just meaner to people, they would not come here, right? And suggestions vary on what that looks like. You look to Texas, and they're trying razor wire and borderline human trafficking of putting people on planes and dropping them off in the middle of places that they don't know anything about and so forth. And that's not dissuading people. Is cruelty a way to stop this? And I'm going to return to the question I asked earlier, I'm not sure we got an answer to, which is, does Denver have valves that you can turn to slow the flow of people here? I know the city's tried telling people not to come here. That didn't do anything. It doesn't appear that cruelty will stop it, the Texas example. Do you have valves at your disposal?
We don't have good valves because most of those are controlled by the entry policies. I will say what we're looking at is, will we have a cap of what the total number of people are that we can serve in the city? Because that number is not unlimited. Even right now, if we stay at our current population of 5,000, that will be, as you know, about $180 million implication for our budget this year. That's almost 15% of the city budget. So that would be significant cuts to services across the city. We don't think that's sustainable for us or for the individuals that are arriving. So we will look at, is there a possibility to cap the total number of people we can serve and serve well? But no, I don't think cruelty is the answer. When you talk about why people are coming, I mean, I talked to a family this weekend who had a grocery store in Venezuela that they ran. And imagine living through running a small grocery store in a country that has 34,000% inflation. So it means you're selling a Coca-Cola for $1 this week. Next week it's $10. Week after that it's $100. Week after that it's $200, then $300, then $350 for a Coca-Cola. And your salary's not going up. Your wages aren't going up. I mean, the families that tell stories of coming through the Darien Gap, which are the stories you heard about that mountain pass in Panama, I mean, that would be something you would only do if you were in such desperation that you have to leave a country that is completely unsafe. That's what's driving folks here, and that's not just Venezuela. It's happening in countries around the world. That will continue to happen. What we could do is create a system that actually justly welcomes people to places where we have capacity to serve them, and we know we can do that. We're just not doing that currently.
We'll return to wrap up this conversation in just a moment.
Hanson's knows what your home means to you. It's where you feel safe, comfortable, protected, and of course, no other place provides you with as much joy. That's why our durable, energy efficient, and weather resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are all backed by our guarantee. So you can feel happy in your home for years to come. With professional installation and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert, exceeding homeowners' expectations for over 30 years. Get 65% off installation with high-quality craftsmanship you can count on. Or enjoy no interest and no payments for 2 years. From windows to roofing to siding to gutters to bathtubs and showers, no one's got you covered like we do.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
The performance was enchanting.
I feel better about the world. I feel uplifted. It touches you. It really does.
Have to come. Life-changing.
Coming to the Buell Theater, March 29th through April 3rd.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you. Thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
I was seriously injured when I got hit by a big truck. After I called Frank, then my insurance company got on board and had no more issues from them. I'm Demetria, and I'm an actual client, and Frank Azar got me $100,000.
School meals then. School meals now. Time
Times have changed, and so have school meals. Today, they're more likely to hit the spot, full of flavor and nutrition. And best of all, they're now free for all Colorado public school students. So take a second look at school meals, because good food fuels great minds. Discover how today's school meals can benefit your learner at goodfoodfuelsgreatminds.org.
Welcome back. Thank you for being with us. Senator Gonzalez, prior to your time in the state legislature, you worked as an immigration advocate during former President Donald Trump's first term. A lot of our conversations have talked about what the Biden administration will or will not do, and haven't really focused on the fact that President Trump could be in office a year from now. The architects of his immigration plan have suggested that that will involve mass deportations. It will involve mass detention camps. It possibly could involve using the military budget for expedited trials to get people out of the country. What, if anything, do you think Denver and Colorado should be doing to prepare for a second term of President Trump?
Well, let me first start by saying that draconian and inhumane immigration policies have been promulgated by both Democrats and Republicans. I say that as a Democrat. I say that as someone who has worked to advance just humane policy and just and humane immigration policies under both Republican and Democratic presidents. And we have to do better. And so this idea that, well, it could always get worse is not enough for us to, it's just not enough. We also have to come together and demand that Congress, that our state governments, that our local governments, and not just Denver, do our part. We all have to act. I don't know what how a conservative Republican who is guided by the principles of Christianity can look at our immigration policies and say, yep, that follows Scripture. I don't know how a Democrat who wants to bring forward the Latino vote for the next election cycle can get away with saying, well, it could get worse. No, that's not enough. We all have work to do, and we all have to do it together. And to be quite honest, I think that the work that Denver is doing right now in this moment is a model that other jurisdictions in our state can and should be following. And we need, for those jurisdictions, our neighbors on the other side of Sheridan, on the other side, just north in Adams County, our other communities across this state can and should be doing more, and we all have to come together.
Thank you.
It's an election year. We know that immigration policies don't necessarily mean that people will stop coming. And Jordan, to close us out, ¿qué cree que puede brindar a Denver y la comunidad? What do you believe you can bring to Denver?
Trabajo. La mayor parte de lo que se basa en emigrar es que nosotros pasamos 7 países.
So mostly, like, immigration is that we walk through 7 countries.
Para poder buscar una vida más estable y un futuro para nuestros familiares el día de mañana.
Looking for a better life and a better future for our families.
Y mi resumen, trabajo, porque con trabajo es que podemos solucionar nosotros y lograr salir de las calles.
So my answer, it is working, because working we can afford a life and not living on the streets anymore.
Jordan, thank you. As Julie mentioned, we're coming up on this February 5th date. That's going to be a difficult time for the city as folks begin to transition out of shelter. We know that the needs are going to be great. So just remind folks again, if you're interested in donating directly to the nonprofits that are doing the work on the ground to support newcomers in our community, the vehicle for that is the Newcomers Fund through Rose Community Foundation. We'll put that information on your screen again. You can text the word HELP to 303 303-871-1491. Text HELP to 303-871-1491. We'll send you a text back with the information on how to give to the Newcomers Fund. And as Yoli has attested, those funds go out very quickly to the organizations involved so that they can do the most good for folks in our community. Mayor Johnson, Senator Gonzalez, Jordan, Yoli, thank you so much for being here for this conversation, and for everyone here at Su Teatro tonight who took the time to see the premiere of Una Vida Nueva, the work of 9 News race and culture journalist Angeline McCall and photojournalist Chris Hansen. For all of us at 9 News, I'm Kyle Clark. Have a good night.